All right, let's talk about Mahjong. It is definitely no longer just a niche, old-school pastime. The game has experienced a massive resurgence lately as a highly aesthetic, grand millennial social hobby. We're talking beautifully stylized tile clubs, perfectly themed game nights, and really high-end boutique hostess gatherings. Today, we're unpacking a digital product that attempts to bottle up this exact aesthetic for digital sellers.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're going under the hood of a really fascinating digital asset. Our goal is to objectively break down the true value, the structural brilliance, and, quite frankly, some of the unexpected marketing flaws of this niche PLR product called the Mahjong Hostess Society. Let's see exactly what we're working with here.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with the Mahjong niche opportunity, peek inside the product architecture, explore the visual themes, break down the 5 product families, and then examine some funnel flaws before wrapping up with the final verdict.
Section 1. The Mahjong Niche Opportunity, a surging aesthetic trend.
And this brilliantly illustrates the trend. As a social hobby, Mahjong has evolved into this boutique market that is just absolutely hungry for beautifully designed printables. Take the Palm Beach Maj brunch styling, for example. Notice the gorgeous floral motifs, the elegant fonts, those perfectly tailored score sheets. For Etsy shop owners or printable creators, this is the exact visual potential you want to tap into. It's not just a game anymore, it's an entire aesthetic event experience that hosts are eagerly willing to pay for.
Section 2. Inside the product architecture, not just a random dump.
If you've been around the PLR block, you know buyers are usually handed what's basically a chaotic digital junk drawer, a messy folder of files that literally takes weeks to sort out. Well, the headline number for this package is 500, specifically 500 richly written AI prompts for creating digital products. Now, a massive number like that usually screams overwhelming spreadsheet, but let's actually look at why that isn't the case here.
Instead of a data dump, this product is actually built on a highly structured matrix. Those 500 master prompt rows are meticulously divided into 10 distinct visual themes. And then, within each of those 10 themes, the prompts are multiplied across 5 repeating product families. It's an architecture designed specifically so digital sellers don't just get lost in the weeds when they're trying to logically scale their shops.
Section 3. Exploring the visual themes. 10 distinct worlds. The package doesn't just hand you one single look, it provides 10 distinct worlds. It covers every kind of gathering from formal bridal events to super casual beginner lessons. Just look at the contrast. On one side, you have the Chinoiserie Garden Night, featuring these moody, elegant blues, glowing lanterns, and rich pink florals, perfect for an evening social. On the flip side, the Jade House Beginner Lesson utilizes crisp greens, bamboo motifs, and a highly educational layout. These are 2 completely different target audiences, beautifully catered to within the exact same pack.
Let's move to the next set and see how this builds. A seller can literally pivot from the mid-century modern, punchy graphic energy of a retro cocktail tile club right into a bright, feminine confetti tile birthday. By giving digital sellers these distinct aesthetic worlds, the product allows them to target entirely different buyer demographics effortlessly.
Section 4. The 5 product families. A scalable system. So the crucial point is predictability. This is arguably the most important part of the architecture for an entrepreneur looking to build a sustainable digital shop. Notice how these 5 families just repeat across all 10 themes. You've got invitation and welcome, score and game stationery, beginner lesson packs, hostess table pieces, and club and event extras. A seller learns the workflow exactly once, say, building out a table menu and scorecard for a bridal shower, and then they just apply that exact same template 9 more times across the other aesthetic themes.
Objectively contrast this against your standard PLR packs on the market, and the difference is pretty stark. Thin prompt packs usually just offer mixed ideas with zero theme map, just short rows with really weak visual direction that are incredibly hard to list in a shop. This product, however, actually gives sellers 10 named product worlds and 5 steady families. It's a clear, systematic path to creating multiple cohesive listings.
Section 5. Funnel flaws and pricing. The catch revealed.
Okay, so while the asset clearly holds high structural value, we have to pivot our narrative for a second. Does the marketing actually match the product? When we pull back the curtain and compare the launch pages to the live dashboard reality, well, some really interesting discrepancies emerge. Let's take a closer look. Here's the first thing. Both the vendor sales page and their joint venture promotional page clearly advertise a front-end launch price of $16.95. However, the actual live checkout price that a buyer pays on the WarriorPlus dashboard is $14.95. Now, what's really interesting about this is that this $2 discrepancy is actually a good thing for the buyer. You're paying less than advertised. But objectively speaking, it shows a definitive disconnect in the vendor's marketing funnel. The promotional pages simply do not match the live payment system.
And the inconsistencies don't stop there. Look, we've all hit publish a little too soon, right? But on the live promotional page, there is literal leftover page builder scaffolding text just sitting there. It reads, editable funnel section, add your upgrade details here when they are final. While the actual upsell numbers underneath it are accurate, leaving raw internal instructions live reflects a surprisingly rushed publishing process.
Finally, when a buyer actually gets to the checkout page, they are presented with 3 bump offers: a class and club kit for $7.99, a puzzle and activity booster for $9.99, and a student practice kit for $12.95. These are real products you can buy right then and there, but here's the catch: none of them are mentioned anywhere in the promotional materials. Buyers are essentially flying blind into a gauntlet of upsells.
Section 6. The final verdict. Is it worth your time?
So how do we weigh an incredibly organized, visually beautiful product against a fairly rushed marketing funnel? Well, the short version is this. The Mahjong Hostess Society is a genuinely well-organized PLR prompt fault. It completely avoids that dreaded data dump scenario. You just have to go in knowing about that pricing gap and those surprise bump offers before you check out.
So I leave you with this final thought. Will you capitalize on this highly structured Mahjong aesthetic to easily stock up your shop, or does a rushed marketing funnel give you pause? Ultimately, it all comes down to how you evaluate the true value